My wife tried to hide all our assets before divorcing me, but little did she know I used to track hidden assets for a living. She sat me down 2 months ago on our gray sectional, the one we spent 3 weekends shopping for when we first bought the house. Said she needed space, wasn't fulfilled in our marriage anymore. Her exact words. I didn't see it coming, but fine. These things happen. People grow apart. I was hurt, but willing to handle it like adults. I even moved out to my brother Mike's place, crashed in his tiny spare room that barely fits a twin bed. Then a bank statement came to Mike's place instead of our house. Must have been the auto forwarding I set up. I noticed transfers I didn't recognize. Small amounts at first, then larger chunks right before she dropped the divorce bomb. When I confronted her last Saturday, I drove over to pick up clothes, but really to ask about the money. We stood in our kitchen, the one I'd spent weekends renovating last summer with that farmhouse sink she had to have. She actually smirked at me. I'll take everything in the divorce. The house, the cars, our savings. My lawyer says I have a strong case. I stayed calm, asked her why she thought that. Because you've always been financially illiterate, she said, leaning against our kitchen island like she owned the place, which I guess she thought she soon would. I've been managing everything while you played video games. What judge wouldn't side with me? For context, I play maybe 5 hours a week to unwind. And yeah, I watch football during season. Sue me. But I've always contributed equally. Never missed a bill payment in my life. I just nodded, said we'd see how things played out. Went back to Mike's, crushed a six-pack and fell asleep on his couch. Fast forward to last weekend. We were at dinner with our friends Jamie and Kara at this Italian place downtown. The gathering she insisted on having despite the separation, probably to save face. 3 drinks in, she always gets sloppy after her 3rd glass of Pinot Grigio. My wife started mocking me openly. He doesn't even know what assets we have, she laughed, sloshing her wine dangerously close to Kara's white blouse. You're too stupid to understand business. That's why I handle everything. Our friends looked mortified. Jamie tried changing the subject, but she wasn't done. He'll be living in his brother's basement while I'm in our house, she continued. Then she put her hand on my shoulder in this condescending way. But don't worry, I might let you have the PlayStation in the settlement. She laughed that high-pitched laugh she does when she's tipsy and thinks she's being clever. I just smiled, excused myself, and texted my brother to pick me up, left without saying goodbye. What my wife doesn't know is that before we got married, I worked in financial forensics for 5 years. I literally helped track hidden assets in high-profile divorce cases before switching to software development because I wanted better work-life balance when we were planning to start a family. I never discussed my previous career much because it wasn't relevant to our daily lives. Plus, she always seemed bored whenever I talked about anything finance-related. Now I realize she probably just didn't want me looking too closely at what she was doing with our money. I spent the last 2 weeks documenting everything. I'd wake up at 5 a.m. before my day job, working on spreadsheets and gathering evidence. Mike would find me passed out at his dining table some mornings, laptop still open to bank records. I hired my old boss as my attorney, one of the top divorce lawyers in the state. Guy charges $500 an hour, but he's worth every penny. I've captured screenshots of her moving money, recorded her admissions. We live in a one-party consent state, thankfully. Tracked down 2 offshore accounts in Belize and the Caymans she thought I'd never find. Seriously, how cliche can you get with offshore accounts? This morning her lawyer called mine frantically asking for an emergency meeting. Apparently they just discovered my employment history and realized what they're up against. I'm sitting in my car outside my attorney's office right now watching my phone blow up with texts from my wife. The latest one. We need to talk ASAP. I think there's been a misunderstanding. No, there's been no misunderstanding. She showed me exactly who she is and I believed her. Now she's about to learn that sometimes the stupid spouse isn't so stupid after all.